Hey, we have a green box, we have a live counter and a bit rate. Going to assume that means we are live very soon. Will be. And that means welcome back to the Storytime Network. It is the Paradox Hour podcast once more. And today it is the Winter 2022 premiere stream.
God, we're already at 2022. Holy shit.
Yeah, as I was doing like titles and stuff, I just went, "Oh God, it's 2022." If I was in school, I would have still been writing 2021 for several weeks.
Oh yeah, I remember doing that all the time when I was in school. Just once the year changed, like, oh, it's still the previous year. Nope.
Yep. Functionally, nothing changes except for the number you write.
Yeah, but everyone's all like, new year, new me, and all that shit.
Well, I mean, speaking of changes, we've gone from what was a pretty fucking good and packed season to, oh boy,
One of the driest seasons I can remember, honestly.
yeah, this is the driest non-COVID season that I think I've been a part of.
It's fine, we need a break.
We do need a break.
Last year was just so packed with quality that I'm not gonna complain too much about having a lighter season than usual.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we should
Like, Jesus Christ.
No, yeah, it's a lot went on last year, even in fucking summer, which was pretty dry.
Even then, we had several series that would be feasible top 10 contenders for a lot of people.
I mean, Kageki Shoujo ended up third for me overall, so
Yeah.
Kageki Shoujo was a good one.
yeah.
But we're not here to talk about Kageki Shoujo. We're here to talk about the stuff that came out this season.
Hey, maybe we should talk about Kageki Shoujo instead of some of the shit on this list.
No,
Maybe.
unfortunately, we have to talk about this season stuff, starting with Akebi's sailor uniform.
They.
So I counted 11 feet shots in the first episode.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yes,
so
11.
many feet shots.
8 if you take out shoes. But yeah.
Like, this anime is very pretty to look at, but god damn, why is it so obsessed with middle schoolers' feet?
Yeah,
It's awkward.
Yeah, it's very weird. I mean, otherwise, it seems genuinely decent. I don't know. It's very, very pretty, but I only watched episode 1 so far, so I'm not quite sure what to make of it.
That might just be Cloverworks' motto this season, pretty but horny.
Yes.
I mean, at least it's more justified in their two shows, especially
Yeah.
one we'll get to in a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a lot less justified here since we're talking about middle schoolers.
Yeah. I also don't really get this girl's obsession with wearing a sailor uniform.
I think it's explained in the second episode that she was just really obsessed with an idol who wore a sailor uniform in one of her videos.
Okay. It was
I-
implied in the first one, but that's
Yeah.
still that's still a bit. I mean, she is just a middle schooler, so.
I mean, in fairness, it's such a cliche now that like when I was in Japan with my friends, when I saw one, when we saw one, we were like, "Oh my god, it's a sailor uniform! That's so cool! It's like my anime has come to life."
Oh man. Just like my Japanese animes.
Then again, I had a much bigger reaction to seeing somebody from God, I don't remember the Japanese name for it, but an archery club.
Oh, neat.
Looking like they just, stepped out of Suriname.
Oh wow.
Very rad.
That's cool.
So yeah, so I had a bigger reaction to that than necessarily the sailor uniform. But yeah, it's just such a like anime cliche that I wouldn't be surprised if you had actual Japanese girls like excited to wear it because of that.
Or maybe they just think it's fashionable. Who knows? I do not comprehend the mind of teenage girls, so
Yeah.
it is alien to me.
I was only barely a teenager, let alone a teenage girl, so
Yeah. This show does look very pretty. Like, to reiterate, it is a very lovely looking show. The still shots
Makoto
especially are just
Shinkai, is
like
that?
yeah, good stuff.
In fact, the director has done an Idolmaster thing, and has been the assistant director on a couple of Fate Grand Orders.
Oh wow. Yeah, that'll do it.
Where does this fit in Fate lore?
I have no idea.
We'll know when Astolfo shows up wearing a sailor uniform.
Well, when you well, speaking of no, I'm just kidding. No, I am 90% sure that there is for a sailor outfit for Astolfo in the game.
Oh, 100%. There's no way there hasn't been multiple versions of probably generally slutty sailor uniforms for Astolfo.
Astolfo actually has a different version that just straight up has him in a maid outfit.
Of course.
You gotta appeal to people who like the cross dressers.
Astolfo is probably more sexualized than some of the female characters, for God's sake.
Oh yeah, even more so than several of them. We're getting off track.
I mean, yes, we are getting off track. I noticed that you haven't really mentioned much about the plot.
What plot?
Yeah, this doesn't really have much of a plot from what I saw.
The plot is literally Akebi wants to wear a sailor uniform, goes to school, and finds out sailor uniforms are not the default uniform anymore.
Oh dear. What about the plot they stole from Komi?
She wants to make friends. Yes.
Yes.
Or Bochi, depending on what cute slice of life show you want to take from.
To be fair, there isn't like a set number of friends on this one. She just wants to make friends.
Also, she's capable of communicating with people pretty decently, so
that's fair.
Yeah, she makes a friend in the first episode.
She's just very awkward.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Komi came out May 2016. This show's manga came out August 2016.
Oh, so they came out right next to each other.
Oh wow.
It's very unlikely that they were either was based off the other.
You say that.
Look, A Bug's Life and Ants came out in a similar time frame, but because of animation lead time.
Yeah, but there's a difference between animation lead time and manga lead time.
Fair enough.
I didn't know movies came out around the same time.
I didn't know either. But
I just want to imagine just the various executives' reactions just seeing the rifle come out, just like, oh, you motherfuckers.
Someone on some staff on A Bug's Life got fired or something. And they're like, "Hey, I'll get right back at you. Hold up a sec."
Or they just hired the same freelance script writers, and he just had it in the same script under a different name.
Honestly, that would be hilarious. Alan Smithy strikes again and all that. But yeah, you want to move on then to the next
do we
show?
have to move on?
Really a lot.
It's okay. There's not a lot to talk about with it so far. So
literally, the main red flag on this one is just the odd focus on feet.
Yeah,
and there's really not much else to caution people against for now.
Will you continue watching it, Jack?
I'll give it a few more episodes.
Okay. I think I'll give it a few as well.
Harmless. Pretty harmless so far, besides the feet stuff.
Yeah.
That's really been my main point, the feet.
It's just the lines that anime makes us come out with. It's pretty harmless, aside from the feet stuff.
God.
That's your review of this show. It's pretty harmless aside from the feet stuff.
Moving
Yes,
on then
this is my
to
review.
a show that frankly is a lot less harmless. Attack on
Oh,
Titan,
God.
the final season, part 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
I'm gonna stay quiet for this.
That's fair. The opening's really good. Um,
I mean, I always expect Attack on Titan's music to be good.
yeah, music's very good. Not a lot really happened since the ending of part 1. Mostly just the big fight happening. Eren and Zeke are trying to finish their little plan to turn everyone into who drank the spinal fluid into Titans, which gross, but yeah, they're just doing that right now, and honestly, not a lot else to really say. Armin and company got out of being locked up now, and they're trying to stop shit from happening. And Levi may or may not be dead. I think we all know what the answer to that is. And that's
We all know Isayama never had the balls to kill off Levi.
no, he's the most popular character. He's also one of my favorites in this freaking show. So
Can I?
This is one of the only
Um,
characters I actually liked by the end of the series. if
yeah,
I'm being
no, he's
I mean, we've all but said it, but spoiler warning. I almost wish he had done it, just because it would have been so, in my opinion, fitting for the series if they just so abruptly killed off the most popular character.
yeah.
Oh,
That
it was
that
just an absolute shitstorm. There was a
yeah.
shitstorm when the chapter originally came out, and people thought he might have been dead.
Yeah,
Everyone was just losing their goddamn minds, and it was hilarious.
yeah. But yeah, aside from that, not much really happening. It's only been like 2 episodes so far. But yeah, stuff's moving forward. I'm waiting for the big ball to drop and for the big plot twist to happen and for me to get very angry about it. But we'll get to it when we get to it. We can move on now.
Moving on to, in my opinion, a far better show. The Case Study of Vanitas, Part 2.
I haven't seen much of Vanitas, so I can't really debate you on that.
This season premiere was really good.
Yeah. So
Really hitting ground running.
Yeah. So it looks like the main villain, to an extent, I guess, is going to be the Beast of Gavaudan.
Gavadon, I think.
Which is a famous, like, I don't want to say folktale, but like incident in the Gavaudan region of France in the 1700s. 1987 study estimated there had been 610 attacks, resulting in 500 deaths and 49 injuries.
Holy shit!
That's a
That's
lot.
a lot.
It's the fucking French. Like 18th century French. They can't do jack shit against anything. And I'm not just saying that because I'm an Englishman. There's a reason the revolution happened. But yeah, in Vanitas' lore, it's
a vampire who's been cursed.
Mm-hmm. We were speaking of Astolfo earlier. We get introduced to Vanitas' Astolfo, voiced, of course. Who else could it be? By Ayumi Murase.
Naturally. If I had a nickel for every time there was a pink-haired, effeminate character named Astolfo in an anime, I'd have 2 nickels. Which isn't a lot, but it's weird that happened twice.
I feel like you'd have more than 2 nickels. I feel like more shows have taken pink-haired Astolfos.
I mean, I would not be surprised, but it's happened in 2 shows I'm familiar with.
Yeah. Now I'm curious to who actually voices Astolfo in Fate.
I mean, you can just look up Fate Apocrypha, it'll tell you. Because the VAs carry over from the animes to the game.
Yeah, that's. I'm
Doing it
trying
right
to do.
now.
Yeah, just so I'm curious.
And he is voiced by Rumi Okubo. So he's voiced by a woman
Yeah.
in the game and the anime.
Ah,
So different.
Okubo voiced Naka Naka. Interesting.
Interesting.
But yeah, Vanitas. Yeah, hell of a way to start the season off.
Oh, absolutely. Definitely a nice, a very good start to the season, in my opinion.
I also realized I may have been listening or watching too many clips of the dub on YouTube because when Dante started speaking, I did not recognize his voice. I
I've
had
heard
to
the dub is very good.
No, the dub is really good. But I had to. Ian Sinclair voices him in the dub, and so I had to
Oh, yeah.
stop. I had to stop and go. Is that? Did they recast Dante? I'm gonna have to look up clips from this first season to check. No, it's the same guy. I just, you know, I just forgot his voice compared to the dub. Also got Zeno Robinson as Vanitas, which is a great as well.
Zeno Robinson can do a pretty good gremlin.
Yeah, because the same way Natsuki Hanai is, hamming it the fuck up, Zeno
Oh, yeah.
Robinson does the exact same.
Sasaki and I just has so much range.
He does.
Seen him as good boy Tanjiro, absolute shit gremlin Vanitas, and jaded taxi driver Otakawa, all in
Uh,
1 year.
the latter role has gotten him a nomination for Crunchyroll's awards, so go vote for him, because otherwise an Attack on Titan character will probably win.
The vote's probably split between the two.
I hope so. I'm not leaving my vendetta behind. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
But yeah,
We all have our grudges.
Astolfo is very clearly insane.
Oh, absolutely.
Like 100% insane. And it's not helped by the fact that Vanitas instantly just starts poking Astolfo's neuroses.
That was hilarious.
Like, it took Vanitas at most, 10 seconds to go, yep, I know what this guy really fucking hates, and I'm gonna pound those buttons as hard as I can.
To be fair, Vanitas is a proven troll.
Yeah. Um, we finally got an episode where Jean wasn't, associated with Vanitas and therefore terrible.
Yeah. Jean is unfortunately kind of yeah. She doesn't
So,
really
yeah.
do as well when she's sharing the focus with Vanitas, unfortunately.
Yeah, it does look like a story is going to be more associated with her relationship with this Chloe, who appears to be the vampire who takes the form of the beast,
Yep.
which is good. And yeah, Vanitas has lost the book.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and fucking Charlatan appears for another fucking mind screw.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Oh,
Oh, that was a really trippy ass sequence.
yeah. Don't blame Astolfo for figuring that it was a trip gone bad and just going crazy.
Yeah, I don't blame him either.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now this is a good start to the season. I hope
Yeah.
it continues this momentum.
Yeah, hope so. Moving on then to, I believe it's a gacha game adaptation. In fact, I'm almost certain of that fact. Q.
It
Yes,
is a gacha
but
adaptation.
yeah, yes, but it's also like a little weird because it's not it's about voice acting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, so this one's probably better than I expected. I don't know if it's gonna be anything worthwhile to watch, but I'll stick with it for now. Yeah, it's about up and coming voice actors who have basically no experience. So, and there's probably too many characters, as you can probably see from the visual.
Well, there's
way too
16 on
many
the
characters.
visual. There's 16 on the visual.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of characters. But yeah, they all have their own little story, I believe, and their own motivation for becoming voice actresses. But it's pretty cool seeing an anime about that as someone who has a casual interest in voice acting, and not really a whole lot to really say. I've only seen the first episode so far, but it could be promising. Obviously, the voice acting is good. It'd be weird if it wasn't. But yeah, there's potential here. It's just, again, so many characters, and I remember 0 of their names, and I don't know if I'll remember any of their names by the end of it.
Yeah.
Not
To be
even
completely fair.
It's the same problem that freaking idol shows have. But
Problem that most shows with huge ass casts have.
yeah, but despite being based on a mobile game, I guess just another one of those mobile game anime that has potential in being good. So
Yeah.
I'm sticking with it for now. If you have an interest in voice acting, maybe give it a shot. But we'll see what happens with it.
I mean, in terms of
Not
the voice
really
acting,
so far.
yeah, in terms of the voice acting, it looks like they have used relative newbies.
That's good.
That's neat.
The vast majority of them have either this is their first work or they've only done sort of another 3 or 4 things.
That's good. Because like the premise is that they're all characters who have basically no experience at all.
Yeah.
And they've been pulled into this agency that's been scouting them because of that. So
Yeah.
Hey, give the new talent something to do. That's always fun.
Yeah.
Moving on though to Fantasia Sango Realm of Legends.
This is all you, dude.
Yeah, this is all me. It wasn't terrible, honestly.
I didn't even know this was a show that was airing this season.
I only realized when looking at the Funimation's list.
Same.
Oops. So yeah, it's set in the Chinese Warring States period. There are a lot of Chinese names and terms that I am struggling to remember anyway, and B will 100% mispronounce. So I'm just not going to bother.
Which Warring States period? I think there were a couple.
I don't know that answer.
Are we talking like Romance of the Three Kingdoms or a different one?
3 Kingdoms period in China, says the summary.
Okay, so that's probably that's the most famous one.
Yeah.
Everyone knows. Not everyone, but a lot of people know that one.
So basically, our heroes get brought together to form the 6th unit of hunters. Mostly because the previous squad got sort of massacred by a demon mist eating little girl.
Lovely.
And the new unit consists of main boy Oki, exorcist Shunkyo, coward Teiken, and demon mist eating little girl Shorei.
Interesting. No idea what the hell to make of that.
No, neither do I really. She just sort of like, I don't know what the term is for like inhale. She inhales this demon mist that like they call it a miasma.
That sounds absolutely lovely.
Yeah, and it can turn her sort of partially into a demon. But she might.
Is that what the key visual is? Is the key visual her regular form and her demon form or some shit?
Yes, I think. Probably. It seems like a good bet. The one on the right is
You
definitely her
sound so
normal form.
confident.
The one I don't remember if her hair turns white in the demon form is the thing. I don't remember that far. There's also a
That's fair.
talking tea caddy.
Qua?
The like wooden barrel thingy mabob. Between brown hair and green hair. That's tea caddy and it can talk.
The fuck?
Yeah. Um.
Huh.
This looks, in terms of like animation, it's fairly decent. Like there's some pretty good moments actually, though they are slightly few and far between. I just like, obviously I don't like, fucking main boy Oki just like tries to talk no jutsu at one point by telling his tragic backstory, and it does work to an extent, but then not really.
Most unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, I think the damning thing about this show is that it is a game adaptation, so it's not likely to go well.
I can count on one hand the number of game adaptations that I think are good, and I still have room to spare, probably.
Like, it's not
In terms of anime, anyways.
yeah. Like, I mean, it's, for me, it's how many, like, of those good game adaptations, how many were adaptations of proper full games, and how many were like fucking
Gotcha.
mobile game adaptations? Yeah.
Couple of them were gotcha game adaptations, and one or two of them were full. Actually, I don't think I have seen a single anime adapt a full-on game that I've actually liked. I can think of like 3 gotcha game adaptations that I liked.
Yeah,
The most
that's
recent one I can think of is Scarlet Nexus, and we all know how that turned out.
Yeah.
that got so much shit from Mother's Basement, which surprised me.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was that bad.
Oh God.
It's pretty bad from what I saw. I never finished it, obviously, but I mean,
Oh,
I
God, I
love
mean-
the game, so
I mean, when I played the game and it says like, "Oh, you need to watch the anime to get these codes," I was like, "No, fuck off.
no,
I'm not
Google
doing
that.
that. You can't
Google that
force
shit.
you can't force me to watch it." So yeah, I'm
No.
going to fucking I'm just gonna Google this shit.
No, nice try.
The
Also, the
fun
rewards
is
you get for that
mandatory.
are bad anyways, so it doesn't matter.
I mean, I
Oh,
just
that's not even. Oh, that's.
I just did it all in one go. But yeah, Fantasia Sango, it's not bad. It's not like it's not groundbreaking, and it'll probably end up pretty shit in the end. But it was a half decent premiere.
Okay.
Moving,
Could be worse. Could be Kingsmead.
yeah, it could be worse. Moving on then to the first of the sports ball shows, Futsal Boys.
Ooh, have fun with this one.
Yeah, I will, because I really enjoyed this.
Did you?
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah. It's fairly well
How
animated.
gay is it?
Oh, pretty gay.
Okay. Good.
Like,
It's gay or European. I'm not apologizing for the joke.
yeah. I'm just trying to decide how to answer, but I don't think I can. I mean, it's been the first episode. Like, you've got your homoerotic life partners, in the captain and vice captain. There seems to have been
Naturally.
some sort of like there seems to be some sort of relationship between Ryu Nagumo and Taiga Amakado. And then you've got obviously the main boys who are filling the usual sports tropes of happy-go-lucky newbie and sour genius.
Before you continue, I wanted to point out I had no clue prior to watching the preview for this that futsal is an actual sport.
Yep.
The fuck is futsal?
Isn't it kind of like soccer?
It's basically
football?
It's a version of football, with far smaller teams, and usually played on some kind of court rather than a pitch.
Huh.
It's very popular in I'm fairly sure like Brazil
Okay.
and places like that. That's my instinct anyway.
Okay.
Okay, it was created in Uruguay.
That is. Huh, interesting.
Yeah.
Neat little fun fact for
It's not particularly popular in the UK, which is
I
generally
imagine.
seen as a reason why the foreign players are so much more skillful than the British players.
I mean, that's true of a lot of sports, if we're being honest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but hey, they got 56,000 spectators for a game in 2014, so good for them.
That's neat.
Yeah. I mean so as I said, it's fairly well animated football, which considering the last football anime I watched was Farewell My Dear Kramer, is an achievement.
Ooh. Ouch.
Oh God.
Yeah, no, that was just I genuinely am offended at how badly animated the football was and how bad the like tactics and just general look. I know I ranted about this when Kramer came out, but I'm going to do it again. You can't have the main team lose by 20 goals and make me think there is any chance that they will be able to come back from that in another game. Like, the gap is just too big. It's not possible to come back from that. Anyway, the other thing about Futsal Boys is they appear to be going more the Captain Tsubasa route of having completely bullshit anime moves as like football skills and shots.
Oh my.
Like, for fuck's sake, the first bit of football we get, like Tenoji, the famous player idol guy, fucking chips it up for himself and then overhead kicks it.
Naturally.
Fucking
How else?
fucking Ryu, Scorpion kicks it up, then jumps about like 10-15 feet in the air, summoning like the image of a dragon to score.
The hell?
It's great. I fucking love it. Like, the characters aren't like amazing, but you know, I know what I'm getting from sports anime. So I'm happy to keep watching this. Absolutely happy to keep watching this.
Good.
You say that because you're sports ball trash. So.
Oh no, I am 100% sports trash. I've never made bones about this. I am 100% sports trash, and as long as it's
and yaoi trash
and yaoi trash, yeah, as you know, as will become very apparent later on. I am,
Oh yeah.
Oh boy, that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be a fun discussion.
I simp for sports and gay. I just do. As long as
Understandable.
Good. Someone has to, and I'm glad it's you.
like as long as it's half decent, I will watch it. Which is why Pride of Orange was so fucking disappointing because it couldn't even reach that low bar.
Oh, Pride of Orange.
The fact that it couldn't reach my incredibly low bar for sports shows should really say something.
Canadians hated it.
I remember just seeing Jeff through and Glass Reflection just ranting about.
Yes, that was so funny. Oh, but back on topic. Back on topic.
Yeah, no, Futsal Boys, I'm enjoying it. We'll see where it fucking goes from here. I'm hoping it's gonna have more Captain Tsubasa bullshit, because that's just great.
That's potentially, yeah.
Very good, very good.
Moving on then to The Genius Prince's Guide to Raising a Nation Out of Debt.
Didn't we just get this anime like a season ago?
No, that was how a realist hero rebuilt the kingdom.
That's the same thing.
Yeah, but this one isn't an isekai.
Oh, wait, what?
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's not an isekai.
I'm also
How?
gonna assume that the protagonist is a lot scummier in this show.
Well, he's a dick, but he
Okay.
does have some redeeming qualities.
Okay.
It just isn't apparent from the premiere alone.
With
Yeah.
this title, how is it not an isekai?
I don't fucking know, but it somehow is.
Speaking of something I don't know, I actually quite enjoyed this.
Yeah, it's
I-
not as bad as I thought it was from some of the reviews I've seen.
I was genuinely surprised at how much I enjoyed it, especially like near the end where Vine like goes, "Oh, we should invade the mine," thinking this is a crazy plan. There's no way they'll accept this. They'll have to realize that we can't keep this war going and we'll have to end it. And then they all just go, "Oh my god, my lord, you read our minds. How did you know about our plans?" And it's like, "What? Oh no." Oh no.
This
then they-
bodes poorly.
And then they actually take it with very little issue.
And they don't even show it happening. They just cut to them having taken it.
They just cut to Vine and Ninim just like, "This is your fault."
Speaking of Ninum, she's probably the best character in the show.
Yeah.
Like, I have so many questions about her and why she's so loyal to Wine, and there's like hints as to why, but it's really going to be interesting digging into that, I think.
Yeah.
She's definitely the most interesting character so far.
I mean, it's been in one episode, so mainly the reason why she's interesting is that she appears to be from some discriminated race, and therefore probably has some sort of tragic backstory.
Would not be surprising. That said, though, she does have a fun dynamic with Vine.
Yeah. No, as I said, I'm genuinely surprised at how much I enjoyed the show. Like, it wasn't like a massive amount, but I thought I'd come into this going, or I thought I'd come out of this going, yeah, this is getting another 2 episodes, and then I'm dropping it. But for now, I'm happy to keep watching.
Yeah, the second episode actually is also really good and interesting. Adds a few more layers to Wine's character that I wasn't expecting it to add. Which definitely makes him less of a one-dimensional jackass.
Yeah, I have a feeling I know what that is based on a comment I saw on, I think, Anifem about him. But I'll, keep my mouth shut for now. We can discuss it in the 3+ episode check-in.
Yeah. Yeah, this was a lot better than I expected it to be, and I'm happy that it was.
Surprisingly good show.
Also, it looks really pretty.
It looks pretty when it needs to, but there's also like it's very clearly saving its animation in some parts.
Fair. It does look a lot better than some other shows that have come out.
That's
lately.
not saying much. We've seen some
Yeah,
real
it's a low
ugly
bar.
shit.
Fucking X-Arm.
I'm not even talking about X-Arm. Like, that's an outlier. That's like fucking Spider Georg, like, bringing the average up or down. Like, there are shows that aren't as bad as X-Arm that still look like garbage. There are some of them
Not
this
wrong.
season.
Yeah, we'll get to one of them. Oh boy.
Oh boy. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Alright.
But
Do you wanna move on
moving
then?
on then to Girls' Frontline.
So, on a scale from 1 to 10, how mediocre do you think this is?
I'm gonna give it a 6 based on its MAL score.
I'll give it probably a 5 or a 6.
You are pretty. Yeah, I would put it at a 5, but the music actually bumps it up to a 6.
Okay,
The music actually kind of slaps,
good.
especially the OPED.
I'm just reading the first review on Mal, and it's listed reasons to watch it. Number 1 is you like waifus. Number 2 is you like guns. And number 3 is you like waifus and guns.
Was this written by an American?
I would not be surprised. But yeah, no, the biggest plus for this is definitely the music, unless you're a fan of the mobile game.
Which you are not.
Correct. I'm only playing a handful of mobile games, and this is not one of them.
I play quite a few of them. This is also not one of them.
I've heard good things about how the mobile game operates, at least, and that it's not like a really scummy gacha like some of the other ones.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that's really not enough to motivate me to actually play it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have to do better than, oh, this is not as terrible as some of the other gachas to get me to actually play the goddamn gacha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a bar they've passed, but it's not a high bar.
It is really not a high bar. But yeah, no, this is it's an okay anime. I don't think I'll be I may watch past the third episode, I may not. It's just like the only really remarkable thing about this show is its music.
Yeah.
And I will admit, the OP and ED do slap. Like,
good.
that is definitely a bonus. If you're not interested in watching the show, just look up the OP and ED. They're actually good songs.
It's interesting.
But I can't really say anything else to recommend this show.
Yeah. It's interesting that the music is good, considering the music guy appears to have only done Minaria Friends other than this.
Minaria Friends is good, though. Don't knock it.
I didn't watch it, so...
I watched most of it. Haven't finished it yet, but it's very good.
Mm-hmm.
No offense, but at what point do you say that, you know, a show that you plan to finish probably isn't going to happen? Because Minaria Friends was winner 2019.
I have the
been
Blu-ray.
2 years. It's been 3 years now.
I have the Blu-ray, so... Also, Greya is best girl, so trust me. I plan to finish it.
Also, Minaria Friends is very gay.
Yes.
I will say one other thing in favor of Girls Frontline, though. That for the main character, the quote-unquote main character, the protagonist that they got, who is the stand-in for all the players of the game, instead of going the default route of using the male one, they used the female version of the player character.
Good. They should always do that. The female one's usually better.
Yep. I will not debate you on that because I cannot debate you on that.
But
yeah,
unless there's anything else, we can move on.
Girls Frontline is fairly mediocre. If you want to watch it, go ahead. But like,
if you like guns
really
and waifus, there you go.
Yeah, nothing beyond that. Nothing really to recommend it besides the music.
Yeah.
For the OP and ED.
Moving on then to How a Realist Hero Rebuilt the Kingdom Season 2.
Yeah, so wait, didn't we just talk about this a minute ago?
No, this is the Season 2 of something that aired last year. Honestly, beyond the having a vaguely similar premise, these shows are actually very different.
No,
like,
I'm sure they
tonally.
are. I'm poking fun at the at the titles.
Yeah, that's completely fair. I mean, the biggest difference, from what I can see, is that Genius Prince is a lot more focused on military stuff, whereas Realist Hero is a lot more bureaucratically focused.
And I can't wait for the big crossover.
Oh God, no, they don't seem to have a lot in common. Also, I don't see a single character in Genius Prince that isn't human, so there are several non-human characters in this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, this one is off to a pretty good start. It's basically a lot of post-war negotiation for the first few episodes, and going into the intricacies of international alliances and how those and international treaties and how those complicate or simplify the negotiations after a war, especially if a country violates or doesn't violate those treaties in the process of engaging in warfare. So it's pretty interesting stuff, and you also have some occasional bits of comedy here and there that help alleviate the affair. But I think basically the entirety of the first episode of the season is just split between two conversations. And it's pretty interesting political stuff.
Fair enough.
So, yeah, an interesting show. You don't get a lot of isekais that focus more on the politics of being in another world. Nine times out of 10, it's just like, oh, this is Power Fantasy number 5,388.
Mm-hmm.
No, I did not count it, but that seems like an accurate number.
Yeah. No, I agree.
But yeah, no, the show is, by isekai standards, pretty good. It definitely helps that it differentiates itself fairly well.
By isekai standards.
I'd say, look, if we're going by isekai standards, this is a 9 out of 10. If we're going by regular standards, it's more like a 7 or 8, but it's still pretty good.
That's good.
But yeah,
Is that everything then?
not much else to say. Yeah, not much else to say. Good show. If you enjoyed the first season, you'll probably enjoy this one. It'll be interesting to see how much material this covers, because the first season only covered 2 volumes of the light novel, which is honestly pretty good.
Yeah.
I prefer having less content per season, less volumes of light novels covered per season. Means the pacing is usually better.
Mm-hmm. Okay, moving on then to In the Land of Leadale.
I'll be honest. This one did not grab me at all.
It is very boring.
Yeah. So like this girl who got in a pretty bad accident was on like life support and stuff, but pretty much keeps in touch with the world through this MMO RPG type thing. She dies because of a power outage, which I don't think makes any sense. We'll get to that.
She was on life support at the time.
Yeah, I know, but it doesn't really make sense because like what aren't hospitals usually equipped for that exact scenario?
Yes.
Oh yeah, no,
they have to be.
So then why did this happen? That doesn't make sense.
To justify the isekai bullshit, obviously.
That's so dumb. Okay, moving on. I wanted to ask about that. So she wakes up and she's suddenly in the game that she played, but 200 years have passed in the game for some reason. I don't know why. It's not really explained, but and yeah, and then she just gets accustomed to life there, I guess. It's very, very boring.
Look, we've had slow life isekais before, but most of those were like no, those are also mostly mediocre.
Like the one that this reminds me of is the slime killer one, but that one's actually pretty good and also has like a bit of nice animation. This is not really well animated, and like it's not very funny, even when it's trying to be funny.
What helps going slimes is that it actually has conflict. This doesn't have conflict.
Yeah,
it's literally just her coasting through her new life in the isekai.
Yeah, like everything about this is incredibly bland from what I can I've only seen the first episode so far. But like the world doesn't seem particularly interesting. That could be fleshed out later, so I'll give it that. The characters designs are super duper generic. Like just everything about it is just bog standard isekai, like even worse than usual. It's
the one thing it has going that's differentiates it is that the main character has quote unquote children.
Yeah.
NPC she created.
Yeah. Which is weird. But yeah, and also like the 200 years passing in the world thing is weird because like it'd be one thing if we knew something about this world, but we didn't. So why'd you make 200 years pass in it? That doesn't make sense.
Ah,
Yeah, so it's just it's pretty boring. I dropped this after episode 1. It's not like offensively bad, but it is probably offensively boring. There are
I gave
so
it three
many better
episodes,
is
and
yeah,
it didn't hook me still.
yeah, there are so many better isekai out there. Watch those, because like this is just yeah. Uh, I'm not touching this.
Mediocre.
So
Yeah.
I just want to point out that this is the same studio that has brought us such quality shows as I'm Standing on a Million Lives,
Oh God.
By the Grace of the Gods,
Oh my God.
and the kicker. If it's for my daughter, I'd even defeat a demon lord.
Oh my God.
uh,
Are you? I'll be honest though. I enjoyed Standing on a Million Lives way more than this, because at least there's struggle and conflict. This was just nothing.
Look, there are stories where minimal struggle and conflict are fun, but that's like 9 times out of 10, that's like coffee shop AU fanfics.
Yeah, that's like slice of life. Like I like a good slice of life. This is not a good slice of life at all.
No.
It's just
It's too
nothing.
fantastical to be a good slice of life, unfortunately. And it's too mired in mechanics, god damn it.
It has a 7.18 on.
I think
I
that's I think that's more of a sign of how genuinely dry the season is.
Oh, this season's bone fucking dry, and there's some real stinkers this season too, as we'll
I'm
get to
pretty
in a few
sure we'll
minutes.
get to it later. I'm pretty sure I liked Orient way more than this, and that show is nothing special at all, and that's still lower. Oh my God, there's so many better shows that have lower score. I hate the internet. Let's move on. I'm
Mal
mad
fucking
now.
sucks. They've got Futsal Boys at down at a 5.59.
Oh, that's ridiculous. I
Yeah,
haven't even watched it, and
that's
I
just
know
wrong.
that's way better than this.
That's just wrong.
I in Tokyo 24. Let's move on. Let's move on. I'm angry now. Let's.
Moving on to something that will make you, I hope will make you happier. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 6 Stone Ocean. Yeah, we're covering this a bit late, but whatever.
Stone Ocean is really good. It's really good. I need to finish it. It's off to a really good start though.
Yeah. We do we know
Jolene
when the
is
next round of episodes are dropping?
Not a clue.
no, we do not.
Okay,
What
because
I
we've
will
only
say
gotten the
is
first 12 so far.
Jolene is quite possibly my favorite JoJo so far, barring maybe Joseph.
I like her a lot. I don't know where I put her on my list so far, but I do really like her.
She is just such a fantastic protagonist, and she's carried the early episodes so far, but there are signs that the supporting cast will also be very interesting. I've
Yeah,
only watched the first handful.
I like the supporting cast so far. Foo Fighters in particular is very interesting.
I haven't gone to Foo Fighters yet, but I've heard she's a really fun character.
Okay, then I won't talk too much about that.
So,
don't.
so when does Phoenix Wright appear to defend Jolene?
Unfortunately, she got a shitty lawyer instead.
Yeah. A really shitty lawyer.
A corrupt shitty lawyer.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
poor Jolene got really fucked over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So more of the good JoJos rather than more of Part 5.
Yeah, definitely good JoJo's.
I still like Part 5 for what it was.
Part 5 had its ups and downs.
Yeah,
Mill definitely has the strongest negative opinion of the three of us on it.
Yeah.
I mean, I have the strongest negative opinion of JoJo's in general out of the three of us. But I just could not suspend my disbelief to Mr. shitting himself in the head like 40 times over the space of a week.
Fair. Misa does shoot himself in the head quite a bit.
His stand is literally manipulating the trajectory of his bullets, and he still shoots himself.
Well, look, sometimes you just
Can you defend
days,
this?
okay?
Can you defend this? I don't
Yeah.
think you can.
Sure you can. It's JoJo's. Don't worry about it. But no, part 6 very good so far. Really want to know when that next round of episodes is coming out. Netflix, at least give us a ballpark.
Please, Netflix, please. We need
Like,
this.
I don't want to rush anyone, but I'd at least like have an idea.
Moving on then to Life with an Ordinary Guy Who Reincarnated into a Total Fantasy Knockout.
This is the first of a few anime that have gender bending in the premise.
Yeah.
Not multiple gender bending anime this season. That's weird.
Yeah.
It's wild, rather.
That is weird. I like this more than I expected to. I've only seen episode 1 so far. But I really like the main duo a lot. They bounce off each other really well.
That is what's most important, having the main characters bounce off each other well.
Yeah. But yeah, our main guy gets really drunk one night after after having no luck with women because his best friend is extremely popular with women, even though he doesn't give a shit about women. And then in a drunken stupor wishes he was a woman, and then a goddess from another world's like, okay. And well, grants that wish, even though he didn't want it, and then basically tasks them with defeating the demon lord or whatever. It also gives them a curse. They don't know what the curse is, but they think it's to make them fall in love with each other. So they very much don't want that to happen. So, and that's basically what the premise is.
Huh.
They need to defeat the demon lord before they fall in love with each other.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I enjoyed it so far. I could see some of the jokes here getting pretty stale, but we'll see where that goes. Also, it's worth noting, in the opening, I swear to God, one of the characters looks like exactly like freaking Kirito.
You know, given the trend in and newer isekais to just parody the fuck out of older ones, I would not be surprised if this is just take a dig at Sword Art Online.
Yeah, maybe, because he looked exactly like him.
Based on the Malcast list, I'm going to take swing in the dark and say it's Schwartz von Liechtenstein Lohengram.
I mean, that's just Gaelic for Kirito.
None of us know Gaelic, obviously.
I do, obviously. Trust me, I'm right on this.
I know one phrase in Gaelic, which is "kiss my ass."
Pug Mahone.
Yep.
Yes, I know that phrase too.
Yeah, that looks like the guy. Now that I'm looking at it, yeah. I think that's the Kirito guy. I'm
fairly sure we brought him up when he appeared in the PV as well. That he was Kirito.
But yeah, there's I enjoyed this more than I thought. I'm hoping it doesn't get too stale, but yeah, I'm very curious to see where this goes. So this is probably, if I were to make a list of what I watched so far this season, this is probably higher up on it.
How's the animation? Because it looks like it's an offshoot of OLM making it.
It's okay. There's a bit of flashy stuff in it, just a little bit, at least in episode 1. Nothing remarkable, but it looks better than a lot of what we've seen this season. So,
you can have some nice animation. That's a treat.
Yeah. So it's nice to have a fairly decent, fairly well animated comedy for once. So.
What? Comedy's not well animated? No. Look, the best animated comedy in terms of anime is Kaguya, and I don't think anything's ever going to be as well animated as Kaguya. In terms of
Nichijou.
okay, fair. Well,
You can't argue with me on Nichijou. There's
name
no
one
way.
out of hundreds of comedy anime.
Yeah. But yeah, this is pretty good so far. I'm hoping it holds up, but we'll see.
Moving on then to Love of Kill.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Oh, that's
Very
a shame.
Look,
There
I
was
was
some
hoping
potential
for
in this one, from what I heard.
there was potential, but unfortunately it didn't live up to that potential because the main male love interest is basically a stalker, and we have no indication that the female lead has any degree of reciprocation so far.
Oh.
She's
Yeah,
honestly kind of a blank slate. She has like 4 lines in the premiere, and she is otherwise just completely stoic or irritated.
Oh.
yeah. This is kind of what I picked out from the PV and went, no, I don't want to watch a show about that.
Yeah,
I've
you
there
had
is
good ins.
there is already a far better series about spies falling in love with each other.
Yeah, we're getting that next season.
Yep.
Oh
So yeah,
yeah.
this is like what if someone saw Spy Family and wrote really bad fanfic about it? Kind of
Mm.
ish.
I was gonna say, does this really have that much in common with Spy Family?
No.
It's like somebody read Spy Family and went, Anya is the worst part.
Oh
Yes,
no, that's like the opposite of the truth.
exactly. But this
That's a
person was very
lie.
wrong, and they wrote Love of Kill instead.
In
No,
fairness, I'm fairly sure Love of Kill started first.
Oh, it did
no.
start first, but it's still like, yeah. The male lead is just a walking ball of yikes. He's not like openly rapey or misogynistic or anything, but he just does not seem to understand the concept of hey, I'm not really interested. Could you please stop stalking me? So yeah, I
Oh
am very
yeah,
seriously considering just outright dropping this um, after episode 1. I may give the second episode a shot, but if that doesn't say it for me, I am just going to just drop it like a rock.
yeah. Love of Kill is 4 years older than Spy Family.
The fuck?
What? Did Spy Family rip this off? Did they go, "Hey, I can make this
Uh,
even better"?
I don't know.
Spy Family
Maybe.
didn't. Spy Family is very good. Like this show.
But this came out 2015. Spy Family came out 2019. So
Spy Family is just so recent, and yet it's still already getting an anime, and it's also very good.
Yeah. But we can gush all about that next season.
yeah,
Oh gosh,
we
about
will 100% gush about
We
it
will
next
not shut
season.
up about Spy Family.
Yeah,
yeah. So basically, the moral of the story is ignore this one. Just wait for Spy Family next season. It'll be a much better use of your time.
yeah.
Or hell, just read the manga for Spy Family, because that's amazing too.
Oh yeah, it's so good. Most recent arc was just so fucking amazing.
Yes.
But yeah, moving on.
Moving on then to Miss Kuroitsu from the Monster Development Department.
The second anime on this list that has gender bending in it,
It does?
Yep,
or Wolf-san.
and the second one that I genuinely enjoyed more than I expected.
Oh.
Yeah, this was a lot better than I expected it to be too. The
Like,
poor wolf person is just like crippling gender dysphoria from having a male brain shoved into a female body.
yeah.
Unfortunately,
I mean, the point is it's basically um, it's basically life in a fucking tokusatsu world, from the perspective of one of the villain organizations. Like they just have a bit at the start where they go through all the other villain organizations that have been defeated by various heroes who are who are genuine tokusatsu characters.
They're actually like regional heroes from actual real life Japan.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
What?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's also pretty cool is the bosses of this evil organization are more ethical than actual like real life managers.
Like,
Hey,
like the first segment is Kuroitsu having to give a presentation for the latest monster, despite the fact that her boss put it together like 10 minutes before. And then having to sell it. I like the chief of staff comes afterwards and goes, "Look, if you need more time, just say so. We will give you more time. We're not crazy. We know you need time to do this stuff."
but this is like the base concept of this show is examining the people who create the monster of the week.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it's like,
So yeah, the second statement is second segment. Sorry, is they think they've created like this really good monster, and they create, as Jack said, they create the male brain first, but then just as they're about to finish the body, the leader of the organization comes in and demands that it be cuter, so they have to make a female body. And they have to crunch to do it as well.
And thus poor Wolfson ends up with crippling gender dysphoria.
Yeah.
Damn.
And yet it was actually an inspired choice by the boss, because in Wolf's first time out, they KO the fucking hero.
Completely on accident.
Well, yeah, because Wolf's clothes just fucking fall off at the first attack, and the hero is a virgin
Oh, damn.
who works in a
poor
sandwich
bastard.
shop.
That poor bastard. Also, she might be sweet on the title. He might be sweet on the title character as well.
Yeah. If he's not thinking she's a prostitute, that is.
Mm. I mean, even then.
But yeah.
Oh yeah, she says a lot of things that might be taken suggestively.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I can tell you what my job is. I'm sorry.
I mean, my one issue is how like fan servicey Wolf's whole deal is.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. I do kind of like the gag censoring though. That is kind of funny.
The gag censoring was fairly decent, yeah.
Like, if gag censorship is used well, I am generally on board with it.
Mm-hmm.
Just because they're usually pretty outlandish with how they do it.
Yeah.
We'll talk about bad censorship later. But yeah, no, this is fun.
This
is a fun
yeah,
one.
this, as I said, this was funner than it had any right to be, honestly.
I'll add it to my list.
Honestly, this seems like it'd be right up your alley, Nmbr.
Good. Because I was mildly curious about it, but I just didn't really have time to give it a look-see.
Yeah.
So.
No,
I think only 2 episodes are out right now, so you have plenty of time.
Cool.
No, I was genuinely surprised at how much I enjoyed it.
Same.
Moving though from one horny show to another, My Dress Up Darling.
This show's
The
way
horniest-
hornier than I expected.
Oh yeah, but it's so fucking good.
It's very good. Marin is all over my timeline.
Not surprising.
She is
it?
just is one of the best characters of the season, honestly.
Probably, yeah.
I mean, it doesn't hurt that she's just so. She has so much personality to her.
Yeah.
Can I just interject and say, fuck the girl from the opening scene?
Oh, the one who.
Oh yeah, her. Yeah.
The one that tries to
To be
force
fair,
her idea of gender norms on Wakana.
Yeah.
to be fair, she was like probably 6 at the time.
Don't care.
Yeah.
Don't care.
Look, we all do things we're not proud of when we're 6.
The other things we're not proud of when we're teenagers.
I know,
Yeah.
but still.
Yeah, like the most objectionable thing in the first episode is that one brief panty shot that seems like it's from Gojo's perspective because Marin accidentally flashed him because she was wearing a mini dress and
Yeah.
jumping around all over the place.
I mean,
Yeah.
just the general like horniness of this show is kind of off-putting.
A little bit, yeah.
If you're not equipped to handle it, yeah.
Yeah.
At the same time, though, just still
I-
very good, and the two leads have a great dynamic.
I heard it calms down a bit later, so.
Mm-hmm.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I don't like having to cover most of the screen to block out fan service.
Look, this is a show about making cosplay outfits. You're going to get some fan service in this.
That girl really just started undressing right in front of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the most well-animated undressing I've ever seen.
Did she
Yeah.
even close the door to the classroom?
No.
I think she did.
Oh,
she
wait,
did?
she? I don't think she
I-
did.
I don't remember.
I don't know. I don't remember.
No.
Either
I
way,
don't
she did it in
remember.
a classroom.
Look, Marin is very forward, and she does not seem to give much of a shit about what other people think of her, so
Yeah.
it would be completely in character for her not to just forget to close the door.
Clearly, she doesn't give a shit. It's still weird.
Also, speaking of weird, look, Wakana is free to, participate in any hobbies he wants, regardless of, gender norms. That's not weird. What is weird is the way he talks to the dolls as if they're his girlfriend.
There's that, and the way he looks at them too. He gets that really creepy smirk in
Yeah.
episode 1, and it's like, oh, dude, come on.
Like,
your
I have
hobby's cool, but like,
I have no problem with him making
just
the
tone it
dolls.
down.
I have
no.
problems
I
with
think
him
I
sexualizing
think the doll
the
making's
dolls.
cool. Honestly.
Yeah.
Look, they're both very passionate people about their hobbies.
Yeah, but like that's
You're
I don't-
reminding me
face
of
when I get passionate about something.
You're reminding me of the fucking Helsing abridged episode with the where the guy got the vision of the little girl who tried to say she was his daughter and then niece and then turned into Sonic with a foot-long erection. And Zora just like, what the fuck was that? And just like the one of the Nazis goes, their fan base is diverse. You mean fucking weird. It's a matter of perspective.
Oh god. Speaking of
Yeah,
fan
this show
bases,
is very
Marin's,
pretty as
are
well.
hilarious. Oh, the show is absolutely fucking gorgeous.
Yeah,
It
this is
is
apparently the Wonder Egg team specifically. So
good for them for working on something that isn't an original that would almost certainly crash and burn.
yeah, well, I don't know. This is Cloverworks. You don't know what's going to happen.
You're not wrong, but this looks like it's faithfully to the manga for the most part.
Also,
I don't know. So was the beginning of the Promised Neverland season 2.
I mean, what
Why
this
must you
reminds
bring up that first?
what this reminds me of more than anything is fucking Horimiya.
A little bit. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
I think
So-
this is better than that, though.
Very possibly,
Yeah.
yeah.
So the thing is, I've read some of the manga, and this looks like it's on pace to adapt about 4 volumes
Okay.
of the manga, which is normal for a one-core anime.
Yeah.
So I think this is going to be pretty good in terms of pacing and adaptation.
I love the one part where she goes, "It's in eroge, but it's epic." That's so funny.
Just Gojo's what reaction to her revealing that she she wants to cosplay as an eroge character was hilarious.
And then when he plays it later, and his grandpa catches him, and he's like, "Oh hey," and he's so serious about it. It's so funny.
So blasé about the whole thing.
Oh.
This is a very good show.
Yeah.
It's
Jojo is
extremely
a very
horny, but
good
it is
boy
good.
who just doesn't know any better.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't get out of that feeling of dread when I remember that it's Cloverworks.
Understandable.
Yeah, we'll
I feel like
see.
hmm I feel like this one is worth sticking out at the very least.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna keep watching it. I'm just like I'm waiting for the axe to drop.
Yeah. We'll see what happens, but so far it's real good.
Yeah.
I like this one. This is probably my second or third favorite this season.
Oh, what's your first and or second?
We'll get to that.
I think I know, but I'm just
Yeah.
asking.
I'm gonna take an early guess at Rusted Armor.
Please, Mill.
You
It's
know,
clearly
Mill, you
Mill. Come on. It is very, very clearly the strongest sage. Obviously.
Oh my god.
No. Obviously, it's World's End Harem.
Oh my god.
No.
Moving on.
It's police in a pond.
Okay, no, we're done. We're done with this. Okay, Orient.
Moving on to Orient.
Okay, Orient. I only watched episode 1.
Same.
It was mediocre.
Extremely mediocre. It is one of the most bog standard shonens I have ever seen.
Yeah, I
Which is
didn't hate. I didn't feel as bored of it as I did Leadale, at least.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
What's disappointing about this is that it's from the same mangaka who made Magi.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
I mean, my question is, why the fuck did they keep calling Musashi's weapon a pickaxe when it was very clearly a scythe? And how
they don't even call it a scythe. He calls it a katana or a sword or whatever, and it's like, no, that's a scythe.
It's a fucking double scythe.
And
a scythe.
And how the fuck is he mining with a scythe?
I don't know.
If you question anime logic too much, you're just gonna drive yourself insane.
It is pretty weird.
This was just fairly stock shonen.
Yeah, which is pretty disappointing because like I thought, oh, this might be a fun fantasy romp here. This might be pretty good, but I mean, it's not bad. Part of me wants to keep watching it, but part of me is also like, man, I could just watch Magi instead, which I haven't seen and I hear is really good.
Magi is very good.
It's the next on my catch-up list, but I'm going to have to use a VPN because it's not available on streaming services in the UK.
You hate to say
That's
it.
unfortunate.
Which is going to be a bitch because the VPN I'm using slows my internet down a lot.
I have to use one of those for work. I get you.
Yeah.
But yeah, Orient.
But yeah,
stock shonen
watch Magi instead.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the protagonist at least. I like his energy. You know,
He's a very lovable dumbass.
Yeah, there are pieces of a good show here, and maybe it'll show itself like 12 episodes later, but I don't know. Part of me wants to give it a few episodes and see, just because
I'd be a lot more forgiving of this show's faults if it was definitely like a multi-core series. I have no idea if it's multi-core or just
12
one
episodes.
Core.
It's 12 episodes.
Maybe I'll just.
Like I said, I'd be a lot more forgiving if this was like 3 or 4 cores.
Man,
I mean the almost worst thing is the fact that it's got a fucking all-star cast as well. Like Yuma Uchida's voicing Musashi, Soma Saito voicing Kojiro, Rie Takahashi is voicing the female lead.
God damn.
There are good names here.
You've got Satoshi Hino, Hiro Shimano, Azumi Waki, and Wataru Hatano rounding out the cast.
Damn.
Yeah, like this is a really good cast. And it's just a shame that the other the production values are not keeping up with the voice cast.
Yuma Uchida
Yeah.
is busy this season.
He is a busy boy. As is I think Soma Saito. I think he's quite a busy boy.
Saito, yeah. I mean, Saito does a lot, to be fair.
Yeah, he's in 4 shows this season.
Fucking
Jeez.
hell.
Because he's Vine in Genius Prince. He's Miyano in Sasaki and Miyano. He's a guy called Kunai in Tokyo 24th Ward, and he's obviously Koshiro in Orient.
Huh.
Wow, they're in a lot of the same show. The leads are in a lot of the same shows. Wow,
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
that's funny.
What else is... Oh, wow. Oh. Of course, Rei Takahashi is in Takagi. Oh, she's Takagi, of course.
Yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense. Oh, so Soma Saito is the male lead in Genius Prince, and Rie Takahashi is the female lead in Genius Prince.
Jeez, these guys getting a lot of work.
Meanwhile, meanwhile, Yuma Uchida is playing a supporting character in Sasaki and Miyano.
Do these guys ever sleep?
No, but at least they're not workhorses like Kenjiro Suda.
Oh my god.
We will get on to Kenjiro Suda.
Look, at least this time he's playing a role he's suited for.
I know, but we will get to him.
Yeah, we'll get to him. Ooh, we'll get to him.
There's also the fact in the show, why the fuck does Koshiro just suddenly have a crystallized motorbike?
No fucking clue.
Yeah, that was weird. That came out of freaking nowhere.
When
did he have that?
I don't know. The technology in the series is just all kinds of weird.
Also,
Yeah.
this world just doesn't make sense. Like very clearly, the propaganda has taken hold. But like being a miner is apparently this like really revered job. Yet clearly nobody must be able to actually leave the job.
Yeah. Otherwise, there would be plot holes.
I mean, otherwise there would be people going, actually, no, this is pretty awful.
Yeah.
Not to mention, like, those Oni designs were not intimidating.
Those Oni designs are freaking weird. They're cats with like weird faces. Like that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this could have been better. This maybe should have been better.
I'm disappointed, especially given the creator of the manga.
Maybe the manga's better. I don't know.
Who knows?
I mean, the manga is almost certainly looks better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Production values on this are not like anything. Like
I mean,
They're not nothing to write home about.
This is the same studio that brought us such classics as DS Irae.
Ugh.
Oh, that classic, yeah.
Yeah. No. Okay. Let's move on at this point.
Yeah,
Moving
moving
on
on.
then
No.
to Police in a Pod.
This show is awful.
Really? I watched episode 1 and I thought it's okay, I guess.
It's propaganda the thing.
It's propaganda, and it's really noxious propaganda.
Yeah, I kind of got that vibe.
Yeah, the thing is, the police characters are gleefully abusing their positions, and it's played for laughs.
Really?
Is,
I don't think there was any. I don't think there was a lot of that in episode 1. I don't think.
It was the bit at the end where they the two leads decide to work out their issues by randomly ticketing someone.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, this show isn't very good.
Yeah. Also, just like it's not very funny at all. Like it tries to be comedy, but none of the jokes landed for me.
There's a couple things that I thought were kind of funny a little bit, but like it's not. Yeah.
Look, the show could have had potential, but unfortunately, like the only thing that's remotely compelling about it is the potential dynamic between the leads, and that's just kind of eh.
Yeah, I kind of liked their dynamic a little bit, but like there wasn't really a lot of substance to it. And why couldn't it just be gay?
A valid question that should be asked more. about all anime.
Another question: why did Madhouse make this, and why doesn't it feel like a Madhouse show?
I don't fucking know, man. I don't fucking know at all.
Like this is
This is one of those
Madhouse. What? What?
girl help. Madhouse has made a shitty cop anime.
They have way more hits than misses. What happened here?
I don't know. I guess the One Punch Man team was not at work when they were making this.
Well,
I
I'm
don't know.
looking at the past stuff this director has done. Was the director for both seasons of Marvel Future Avengers.
Okay.
That is not confidence boosting in the slightest.
Was the director for a show called Maho Senso, which appears to be another one of Madhouse's misses.
Ugh.
Was the director for an Iron Man anime in 2010. That was another one of Madhouse's misses by the
Wait,
looks
he
of
directed Kaiji. What the hell?
That's disappointing.
Kaiji was great. What happened here?
You know, I wish I could answer you, Nmbr, but I cannot.
Hmm.
And Akagi? Oh my god. I hate it here. What happened? What happened to anime this season?
We were born to be disappointed this season, unfortunately.
I look. I don't. I'm angry again.
I don't blame
do you want to move on?
Yeah, move on. This show isn't good. Apparently, it gets
Give
even
this a
worse.
skip.
Don't bother with it at all, please.
It's not worth your time.
It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Let's move on.
Moving on then to Princess Connect ReDive Season 2.
Oh, thank God, a good
talk
show.
about a quality jump.
Thank God. This is such a good show. Princess
Good. I
Connect
love
saving
Princess
this
Connect.
season.
Princess Connect once again saves anime.
Yeah.
This was one of the highlights of 2020, so I'm glad to see season 2 is just as good as season 1.
The show has no right to be as good as it is. I mean, I really like the game, and it still has no right to be as good as it is. Like, why is this so funny? Why is it so pretty?
Why not?
Because the studio has hardly done anything.
because Cygames Pictures has that fucking gotcha money.
Correct.
I mean, that's true, but where does the talent come from? Where did they?
They got the Konosuba director, okay?
That is true. That does explain that, but it's still
the Konosuba director working on something that isn't nearly as mean-spirited as Konosuba.
Yeah.
Storyboarded for Wodakoi and for Nisekoi.
Shit. Those are two very different reactions, despite sounding similar tonally.
Was the director for a show called Tokyo Ravens back in 2013.
Never heard of that one.
It's got a decent score on Mal.
Interesting.
And was the director for Is This a Zombie of the Dead?
Huh. Interesting.
But yeah, it's mostly just more Princess Connect. Carol is currently dealing with her bullshit right now.
I do like them bringing in supporting characters here and there.
Yeah, I mean they kind of have to. Gotta shield those characters somehow.
I did like that. Look, I'm gonna be real. Christina is one of my favorites. I don't care that she's evil. She is.
No,
has a very interesting personality.
I love her. I love her. She's one of the strongest in the game, so of course.
In the game, she's broken as fuck. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. But In terms of actual character, no, I love her too. She's great. She's awful, but she's great.
Exactly. She's
Yeah,
such a delightful piece of shit.
yeah.
What I'm hearing is that you've dropped money on her.
I actually did not drop money on her. I
Me
saved
neither.
up and I managed to get her.
Yeah, me too.
She is very good and one of the best units in the game.
Yeah, but
Beyond that, she's also just a fantastic character and a really fun foil for Carol as well.
yeah, because um, yeah. I'm trying to think. What's her? Do we know her name yet? Who Carol's master is currently?
I don't
I don't
think
remember.
so.
I don't remember if we ever
I
got her
don't
name, but
recall what her name is.
yeah. Um,
All I know is that she's Carol's boss and she's very evil.
they're apparently related by blood somehow.
Either that or adopted.
Yeah, no, she pretty much straight up mentioned like the same blood, so
Huh.
they're related
Right.
somehow.
Yeah. I mean, this could be the fact that referring to the fact that they're both beast folk.
Yeah, could be maybe. I don't know. Um,
There's apparently some racism in this setting.
yeah, yeah, there is.
Racism in a fantasy setting? Who would have guessed?
No, you can't
Yeah.
escape it. Um, yeah, not a lot
But
to
no,
say
this
so
is good.
far, but it's more Princess Connect. It's very good. It's very, very pretty. I loved the first episode too.
I love the return of the gag of Yuki getting dragged by wolves.
Yeah, it's so funny. That will never not be funny. And Carol just being tortured every second of every episode.
Dude, her fucking face once you realize what Pectorine fed her.
Yeah. She needs to learn to
This
just
show's so
accept what she's eating and not question it.
not question it.
Yeah.
No, this show
This
is
this
so good.
yeah, it's very, very much good. But I think we can move on now.
Yeah.
Moving on then to Requiem of the Rose King. Ugh.
I like that.
This show, I don't think it's going to handle the whole thing of Richard being intersex very well.
Probably not. I didn't have much faith in that, but I have slightly. I'm not a massive, not like a lot less faith, but certainly less faith now. Um, I mean, part of
Mm.
the issue is that this show is kind of ugly as sin.
I mean, it does have a good grasp on how to do
It's
the occasional static shots.
yeah, it's got some good still images, but anytime it's in motion, it doesn't look good.
You're not wrong.
So it's a better
Thanks.
art gallery than it is an
Yeah,
actual animation.
Oh, absolutely.
thanks, JC Staff.
No, it figures.
I mean, I only watched one episode, and I don't know if I'm going to continue this one. It looks like it's going to be a rough watch, regardless. Even discounting the animation quality, I think it's going to be a rough watch just because of subject matter.
I mean, yeah, it doesn't help that Richard is just like a really edgy boy.
Yeah, Richard is very angsty. Kind of understandably so,
Yeah. Uh,
but that doesn't make me fear to watch.
I mean, the one like potentially interesting thing is that they're potentially setting up some gay between Richard and Henry.
Mm-hmm. Yes, the stuff with Henry is interesting, especially since it contrasts our initial impressions with him from the narration with his very pious outlook that we get
Mm,
from the tail end of the episode.
yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what they do with Henry.
Hmm.
I don't know very much about the War of the Roses, so.
I don't either really.
But you're British. You should know this stuff.
Yeah.
They don't. They liked history. Like my history classes liked to focus on the stuff where we were fighting invaders or going overseas to fight rather than when we were fighting each other.
Hmm.
Except for
See,
Cromwell, they like talking about Cromwell.
because everyone hates Cromwell.
Yeah. Uh,
See, we talk about the Civil War like 3 or 4 different times in my curriculum.
and yet your curriculum manages to get it wrong every time.
Hey, I live in a state that actually gets it right. It's not my fault that people in the fucking deep South are like, the South may have points. Fuck those guys. And
Murr,
fuck
murr,
that
murr.
education.
The South weren't fighting to keep slavery.
Yes, they fucking were.
Yeah, of course they were. Um, but yeah, I mean, the big thing is that, oh boy, it's not good. It's not good news for Richard, considering it goes from we're currently following Henry VI, and there's 2 more Henrys after this,
Yes. I
and
think
it's
they're from
not
different
that long
houses, right?
after. It's not that long after either. It's a different
Mhm.
house, yeah. Because it's the Tudors who take over for the for Henry's 7 and 8.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this is the Yorks and
Yorks and Lancaster,
Lancasters.
yeah. I mean, they're the same fucking family. They're just different branches.
Mm.
They're all the I think it's Plantagenets or something like that.
So this is basically just one big episode of Family Feud.
Yep.
What a clusterfuck.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to remember what I'm getting all of this from Wikipedia. I should point out, so grain of salt and all
Grain
that.
of salt.
I believe it said that Richard does become king in the end.
Yeah, I
But
know
he
that.
is, I believe he's like the last king to die in battle or something like that.
Interesting.
Either way, definitely a tragedy.
Hmm.
I don't have high hopes for Richard's survival. Put it that way.
I mean, to be fair, this is partially based off of a Shakespeare play, and the non-comedies rarely end happily.
That said, I'm fairly sure they have changed the course of history.
How so?
I'm not 100% certain because I don't know what battle was fought in that first episode. But I'm fairly sure Henry VI wasn't deposed by Richard, Duke of York. Fairly sure. I'd have to check.
I mean, if I remember, based on what I've heard about episode 2, Daddy Richard dies in episode 2.
That would make sense.
You'd
Yes,
probably
I did have to call him Daddy Richard.
You'd probably get a better adaptation of a Shakespeare play from frickin' Q, where in the first episode, I forgot to mention this, they recited part of Hamlet,
Oh,
for
that's
practice.
hilarious.
Yeah, and and one of the pairs, they accidentally made it gay.
Accidentally?
They should.
Anyway,
Look.
yeah, my impression based on Wikipedia is that Richard of York got the protectorship, which did happen in this episode, and then went to war again and was crushed in the Battle of Wakefield. Which
Right.
my instinct is that that's the battle that happened in this first episode, but then Richard won.
No, I believe that's the battle that happens in episode 2.
You were 100% sure about that?
No, I'm not sure about that. That's why I said I believe.
Yeah.
like I have not watched episode 2 yet, and I'm not an expert on history, especially British history, so
Why not?
don't quote me on it. Look, I took enough European history classes in grade school. I want to learn about history from literally any other part of the world besides Europe. Thank you very much. I have to sit through one more lecture about how one king screwed his fifth cousin and another king decided to fight his third cousin for petty fucking reasons.
Mm-hmm.
I would just watch more of like Game of Thrones or some shit.
Yeah. Should also point out that main character Richard is the one who is certainly accused and suspected of having ordered the execution of the two little princes in the tower.
Hey, boy.
So yeah, that's gonna be fun. I'm gonna give this 3 episodes. I can't guarantee more than that.
Understandable.
It's gonna have to do a lot to survive.
Again, understandable.
Sounds about right.
I think this has to be a 2-core too.
It is. That's part of the
wow.
issue. I don't have any
Of all
faith.
the shows to get 2 cores.
I have no faith that this show can keep quality up for 2 cores. Moving on.
Also,
though,
a lot of these designs look. Oh, never mind. Yeah, well, let's.
I think in terms of designs we can agree that it falls under ugly as sin.
Yeah.
Speaking of ugly as sin though, rusted armors.
I didn't touch this one.
Why did you guys let me watch the show?
Neither of us wanted it.
I said I might have been willing to take it depending on the trade. That said, there's very few shows now that I would trade it for. So
this show is so bad. Oh my god. So I'll be honest here. I didn't really get a lot of the plot because I was so focused on how fucking ugly the show is.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Understandable.
Yeah. So something about a war, something about a group of rebels fighting back, yada yada yada. They're all quirky characters, whatever. That's basically the roundup, I guess. But yeah, the show is ugly as sin. So obviously, it is a CG anime made by a studio that has done nothing, and made by staff that has done almost nothing. So, not quite sure what you would have expected here, but yeah, it's pretty bad. The CG is not the worst I've seen. Obviously, it's not X-Arm bad. It might be slightly better than Berserk 2016 bad. So there is that. Yeah. But what probably makes it worse is the freaking backgrounds. The backgrounds in this show are, I don't want to say they're straight up bad, but they're incredibly stylized. So, like, an incredibly stylized 2D show, it might work pretty well. But with these CG characters, it clashes so hard, and it's just it's so hideous. It's awful. And aside from that, there's a bunch of animation shortcuts as well. And literally anything that is 2D is not animated at all, including the few people that are 2D. They do not move at all. X-Arm actively did this better, which is insane to me.
Do they at least have lip flaps?
No, because most of their faces are covered up, but like half of it you can still see. But yeah, they don't move at all. There's no animation. They speak, are I guess off screen maybe, but like you do not see them speaking.
Jesus Christ.
It's so bad. Probably the worst part of it though is like at the very beginning of the episode. No shit. There's like a, I don't know what kind of animal it is. I think it was like a deer. There is this 2D deer, and it's just standing there, and then it turns its head, but it's not animated at all. It is literally one frame. It's standing there, and the next frame, it has its head turned around. It's so jank. It's
Jesus.
yeah, it's pretty bad. So yeah, show's ugly as sin, basically. Not the ugliest I've seen. It'd be pretty hard to top X-Arm, but it's pretty high up there on my list. In terms of other stuff, like I've already mentioned the story. I don't know much about it, honestly. It's nothing interesting. The characters are, like I said, quirky, but not really interesting at all. Also, there's a bit of transphobia in there.
Oh,
Oh,
goody.
lovely.
So there is a character who says she is a woman, but everyone calls her a male. So yeah, there is that. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. Bad animation, bad backgrounds with that bad animation. It's just transphobia, uninteresting story. Um, yeah, it's just bad. It's it's really freaking bad. It's
So
probably
just
oh
just
my God.
to just to return to the staff for a second.
Mm-hmm.
The editor is the only other thing on their list is Platinum End.
Oh, Jesus
Figures.
Christ.
The
This has a 3.4 on Mal.
Yeah, the character designer, the art director, and background artist both have nothing else to their name.
Yeah, a lot of the staff on this, as far as I know, have hardly done anything else,
Uh,
if
the
anything.
the director has only two other things to their name. One is a movie that hasn't even got a rating on Mal back in, what was it, 2011, and worked as a chief animation director for a show called Deva Zan, which currently has a 4.83.
I
Mm.
see.
And the scriptwriter and series compositor has worked on what's that? Welcome to the Classroom of the Elite,
Okay.
and has done individual episode scripts for Shield Hero.
Okay.
Lovely.
Yeah, that's great lineup there. All-star cast, honestly. It, awesome. 10 out of 10. Have to recommend it. No, don't fucking watch this. Like it's not even like bad, so bad it's funny bad. Like it doesn't circle back to being good. It's just bad. I can see someone maybe enjoying it for being as bad as it is, but I think I'd actively watch freaking Police in a Pod compared to this. Like
Ooh.
yeah, I'd rather watch that. I'd rather watch Leadale, I think. Yeah, like this is it's it's bad. It's just it's freaking bad.
Yeah.
Um, don't watch it, please. Don't support this. Don't let this keep happening because it needs to stop. Uh,
Uh,
Well, let's
moving
mo-
move
on.
to the opposite end of the quality spectrum.
yeah. Moving
The
on
literal
to
opposite end of the quality spectrum.
moving on to Sabikui Bisco.
This is my favorite of the season so far.
This was really
This
good.
is this was number 2 on my list,
Yeah,
right behind Dress Up Darling.
yeah, that's fair. This is such a awesome show for so many reasons.
Oh, absolutely.
Like you
I
already
just
have the unique setting, but then you have the giant enemy crabs. You have arrows that create mushrooms. You have you have Kenjiro Suda as a corrupt governor.
it's just such a fucking good show.
Oh, it's really freaking fun so far. The music is really good too.
Mm.
Oh yeah, that's good stuff.
Oh, yeah, this it's really good. My only gripe, which isn't a major one, is that in the first 2 episodes, it does keep flashing back and forth between past and present from different
Oh, yeah.
perspectives.
Yeah.
So it's pretty jarring. In episode 1, you don't really know right away that it's past and present, but in episode 2, it becomes apparent, and then it becomes like annoying. So, but we seem to be done with that now.
I've only watched the first episode, but I did actually quite like the little flashbacks because they worked as world building, if nothing else.
No,
True.
it's not that I don't like them. I don't like how they're utilized because like it's literally just mixes them in,
Yeah.
and then it just keeps going from past to present without any warning at all. And
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, it
I
reminds me of.
definitely think it could have been integrated better, especially with that weird shot before. I think the eye catch that just didn't seem to fit in anywhere.
Yeah. It reminds me of Arrow in a way, which did that throughout its entire freaking run.
Yeah.
It just kept flashing
God,
back.
Arrow.
Yeah, and that was like it's like I like this flashback. It's interesting, but it's so intrusive and annoying.
Yeah.
Quick side branch about Arrow. I still find it absolutely hilarious that the CW was never profitable for its entire existence.
I can't believe that either. That's insane
Hilarious.
to me. Considering how many fans the Arrowverse has, that's
The
wild.
Arrowverse and Supernatural. That was also CW.
That's wow. Okay, back to anime.
Side branch over.
Yeah.
Back to anime. But yeah, I really like it so far. I love the setting. I love what we gotten of the story so far. The characters are all great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like
good
Milo.
cast.
I really like Milo.
Yeah,
Milo's fun.
great.
I also really like I really like the rest of the cast, but Milo is the most substantial character thus far.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's probably like the best boy so far. Bisco is really cool though. I like him.
Bisco is interesting. I was expecting him to have a much different personality than he wound up having.
Yeah.
I mean, I've only watched the first episode, so I can't really say. I was expecting him to be a lot more of a hothead, and it didn't seem like he's going to be that so far.
No.
Oh, he's definitely still at least some kind of hothead. It's just it's less prominent.
Yeah. He knows what he knows what he wants, and he pretty much just goes for it.
Yeah, he's more the impulsive hothead than the like loud and loud hothead.
Yeah,
he's less of a Naruto and more of a Grog.
Yeah, he's really cool. I really like Paw a lot too. I think she's cool.
Paw's great.
Yeah. I noticed that some of the character designs in this look pretty familiar. One of the same ones for Id Invaded. So
yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, those eyes. I know those eyes from somewhere.
Yeah.
Id Invaded. Apparently, some of the same staff from that came on to work on this, so that's interesting.
That's cool.
You know what? I wasn't thinking of Grog. I was thinking of a different character, but yeah, Bisco is very much a more choleric character than he is like a hothead.
Yeah.
And he has arrows that make. It's like, how does that work? That's so cool.
He makes giant mushrooms as his fucking arrows, and it's pretty rad.
Yeah.
That's cool. Like, that's so unique. Like, this feels so different from any other anime I've seen in recent memory.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's
this
also
is more
really
in common
fun is
with freaking Mad Max.
Oh yeah. It's like Mad Max meets Dorohedoro.
Oh yeah, actually, now that I think about it.
With all the mushrooms.
Yeah. But yeah, this show is really, really, really fun so far. We
have yet to mention Kenjiro Tsuda in such an excellent performance in this show.
Yeah.
Oh, he is damn good in this show. Kurokawa is really, really cool, and I think he fits him perfectly.
Oh yeah, no, he's just perfectly scummy and sleazy. Overall.
Yeah. He plays a good villain. Villain.
They had Kurokawa, and he's like, "Oh, we need to get Tsuda on this. we need him to voice his character."
It's the right call.
Yeah. I also like Chiruru, the pink-haired girl. I think she's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, she is very funny. She has a lot of
Yeah.
potential.
Yeah. Potential entertaining gremlin. I like that.
I do love me some Gremlin characters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yes, watch this show. It's awesome so far. Really
Yeah,
freaking
it's
good.
really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely one of the few definite standouts of the season.
Yeah.
But moving on,
Moving on then
I don't.
to Salaryman's Club, which is not aired yet because the tsunami delayed World Triggers finale to this week, which pushed Salaryman's Club, which was in the same time slot, back to next week.
Oof.
Oof.
So all I can really say is that I'm looking forward to it. It's got a good cast. It's Leiden films have a decent enough reputation for quality, um, depending on the show. It's hit and miss actually. Now that I look at it,
Mm-hmm.
I forgot that in the same fucking season, Leiden Films did After School Dice Club and Blade of the Immortal.
That's fucking wild.
Like, you could not find two more different shows.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping that this will fall on the good end of the spectrum, though. I mean, it's adult businessmen playing sports. Like, I'm really hoping for something good. But yeah, that's all I can really say on it, considering it hasn't aired.
That is unfortunate.
At the very least, I'm hoping it'll be better than what was that other fucking badminton anime that was really drama filled?
Oh, Hanebado.
Hanebado. I'm hoping it'll be better than Hanebado.
Hanebado
Oh,
is amazing,
jeez.
but Dry is not one of them.
Oh, goodness.
Was Hanebado not
Just
the drama
sweat
filled
for
one?
days.
No, that was drama. That
Yeah.
was definitely drama.
I thought you said Dry for a second.
Oh
I was
no,
like,
not dry.
Hanebado was not
No.
Dry.
No, not dry. Drama.
Oh yeah, Hanebado, dramatic.
Yeah. So, with that, with me anticipating it quite highly, we'll move on to the show that I am enjoying probably the most, Sasaki and Miyano.
Here we go.
I love me
This
the
is
gay.
a good one.
This is so gay and I love it.
I have
This
not
is
seen
just
it
such a
yet.
sweet,
I really
delightful
want
show.
to. Tell me what's so good about it, please.
I
The
mean,
vibes.
first of all, look at that fucking height difference.
Yeah.
Like, my god. It's just the fact that like they're so clearly they're so clearly like actually get along and are friends. So there's that. So it's not a toxic relationship either. Which is
better than a lot of yaoi.
Yeah, it is obviously
Oh,
a
yeah.
worry in yaoi. I mean, Night Beyond. Ugh.
This is more
Ugh.
wholesome probably than it is intense.
Yeah, no, this is a lot more
mean-
wholesome.
Also, this is definitively gay because Sasaki is outright in love with Miyano, and it's pretty clearly established in episode 1.
Oh no,
okay.
Sasaki is so fucking in love with Miyano.
Yeah.
Aw.
Meanwhile, Miyano is just in denial about his gayness so far.
I think part of it comes from his issues with his looks, because he has quite cutesy feminine looks. So he I don't think he goes out of his way to be masculine necessarily, but he does sort of. I think he is quite insecure about it.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, he's the one who reads the fucking Boys Love manga. So and he's shipping his friend with his friend's roommate. So speaking of the friend, that's a love triangle waiting to happen.
Oh,
boy.
absolutely.
That is a love triangle waiting to happen. Um, but yeah, it's a little like with Sabikui Bisco. It's a little weird timeline wise because um, we see the scene where they first meet, and then it skips to 3 months ahead, and in between sort of the that sort of main storyline of Sasuke actually realizing that he really likes Miyano is sort of little vignettes of them getting to know each other, mostly through Sasuke reminiscing.
Okay.
Hmm.
There's a lot of Sasuke reminiscing.
The show is very vibe heavy. It's not very story heavy.
Yeah. I have a feeling it'll be more linear next episode. Um,
I have watched episode 2 and I can confirm it is more linear.
yeah. There's also the funny moment where Miyano makes reference to I think slash art, and Sasuke's like, "Wait, what's slash art?" And Miyano's just like, "I'm not answering that, and don't ask your friends either. I refuse to answer
He wants
this."
to protect. He wants to protect his innocence. I don't blame him.
Yeah. Um, yeah, it's really nice. It's really cute. And I have such high hopes for this show. Like, look,
This isn't a show.
Studio Dean are not good at action, but give them a slice of life romance and they will do wonders.
Oh, Dean did this?
Yeah,
Wow.
Yep.
That's wow.
they are absolutely fine with stuff like this. It's just when they're forced to do action.
Because they have a lot of they aren't exactly known for
Well,
high quality.
they're the ones that put the nails in Seven Deadly Sins' coffin.
Oh my god.
Oh god, I still remember that.
7 deadly frames of animation.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, no, I'm really enjoying this. Like, I'm really enjoying I'm really enjoying the characters, and I'm really enjoying the romance that's developing.
It's a good romance.
Yeah, and I have hopes that if Sasaki has realized this soon, that we might instead of just the entire show being the chase. I have hopes that they might actually get together before the end of the season, and we get some episodes of them dating.
That'd be nice. I know your biggest issue with Adachi and Shimamura was them faffing about for the whole show and not really
Yeah.
having magic progress.
God, that was just such blue balling bullshit.
I love that show, but I understand the frustration
I
completely.
enjoyed it. I liked the characters, but it's just so fucking frustrating.
Just be
that they
gay
just-
already.
That
God.
they just tiptoed around each other so fucking hard. It was made worse by the fact that it aired on the same day as Tonikawa, which just went full on like, no, we're together now.
Yeah.
Like,
That was
just,
great.
Oh, I'm still like so upset about that. About just, ugh. But yeah, I hope that it's not going to be the case here because, like, as I said, Sasuke has obviously realized his feelings for Miyano. Miyano is a fan of boys' love. He will get there eventually.
He'll figure it out.
He will. He has to figure it out at some point. So yeah, Sasuke and Miyano, very good show. Looking forward to more of it. Moving on though to, she professed herself pupil of the Wiseman.
The show is butt ugly.
Is it really?
The CGI was so bad in episode 1.
Damn.
It was like, and look, the biggest thing is that like it just held off on the main premise of the show for the entire episode. So the main character doesn't get gender bent until the very end. And the only line we get from the main character is after the aforementioned gender bending is, "Oh, I'm cute," and then the episode ends.
I didn't even know this was a gender bender.
There's a
It is
lot of
another.
them
It
this
is
season.
yeah, it is the third one, and this is also an isekai, I believe.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yep. I am not going to stick around with this one.
So I
it's-
just like to point out that the studio brought us such gems as Tamayomi,
Ugh,
LBX
Okay.
Girls,
Okay.
and apparently was part of the production on Battle Game in 5 Seconds.
Okay.
So honestly, not surprised that it's ugly.
yeah, no, it's not good at all. So disappointing.
Do you have anything else to say about it, or do you want me to move on? Because I'm gonna maybe not gush, but I do have some stuff to say about the next show.
Look, I don't really have anything else to say about this one. This is just like I don't really think it's worth your time. If you like the premise, go ham, but like I have no real inclination to continue on this one.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
No, actually, it's based off a manga.
I thought this was based off a light novel.
Nope. Oh wait, no, sorry, on the wrong thing. Yep, light novel. Was on the wrong show. I was already on the
I mean, it
next
could
show.
be both.
Yeah. But yeah, next show is definitely based off a manga. And that next show is Slow Loop.
I loved this show.
Yeah, I genuinely enjoyed the show. Um,
We don't have much fishing anime.
So should I watch this one then?
I would say so.
Yes.
Um,
Yes. It's very cute and very wholesome and pretty funny too.
I mean, your biggest barrier to entry might be Koharu, who is a little hyper. Well, not even a little hyper. She is hyper. But I am honestly relating to Hiyori too much to care.
Yeah, this
Uh,
one's really fun. Um there's so why does domestic girlfriend keep popping into my head? So
Here's the thing. I'm fairly sure that they aren't actually going to push a romance between Koharu
no,
and
I don't think
Hiyori.
so either. But I can't help but ship them, and then the domestic girlfriend theme song starts playing in my head.
No, but you've been burned by that before. You have been burned.
As well as Sweet Home Alabama starts playing.
Hey, they aren't blood related. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying Hiyori, and it's a really sweet show of her, trying to not even necessarily process her grief. I think she has processed her grief over her father's death at this point, for the most part. But also, having it. It's not just the fact that she's lost her father. It's now the fact that her father is being replaced.
Yeah.
By by all accounts, he looks like a good guy. That's not the
No,
issue.
yeah.
But speaking from experience, it doesn't necessarily matter, whether the stepdad is a good guy or not.
No, it's just it's the process of a lot of change happening, and you have to process it. You have to get through those awkward, uncomfortable feelings, but and she's well aware of that as well.
And like
Having a step or adopted parent, I imagine, would be rough.
Yeah, but
Regardless
she
of this.
feel like any negativity towards like
oh
her
no,
new family or anything like that.
like her feelings towards her new stepdad are not like at all negative. It's more awkwardness than anything else.
Yeah, she's like, man, man, my new sister is gonna be living in my dad's old room.
Yeah.
Like that has to be a weird feeling, you know?
But it's clear that her mother is a good is a good member of the support network, and Koharu is looking to take a good role in that as well. I mean, me personally, I know I would not be able to fish, not because I don't think I'd have the skill for it, because I would not have the patience for it. I can't just sit somewhere and just wait for a fish to bite. I can't.
Yeah. I am a casual enjoyer of fishing, so.
But so that's that's not necessarily gonna draw me in, but certainly Hiyori for the time being is.
Yeah, I don't think you really need to be into fishing to be
Yeah.
able to enjoy this. The characters are just wonderful.
Yeah.
Hiyori is the quiet girl, and Koharu is the loud dumbass, but she's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very, very cute. I like it a lot.
I'd like to know what happened to Koharu's mum.
Yeah, because we haven't
whether it
gotten
was
much of
another
that, have we?
yeah, whether she also died or if it's just a divorce situation or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Slow Loop, really good show so far.
Yeah.
And it looks nice as well.
It turns out that Koharu's mom had a love affair with Hiyori's dad, and
Oh no!
and they died in the same accident.
Oh no!
Sounds like some domestic girlfriend bullshit.
yes, it does.
Thankfully, that can't happen because we know Hiyori's dad died of a popular disease.
Yeah.
The wording on that is weird.
Mean? Was it COVID-19?
I don't know. It's just a really weird wording. Just like my father died of a popular disease. Like,
a popular disease.
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh, I thought you guys were being figurative.
No, that's actually what they say. It says
he
popular
literally
disease.
Says popular disease.
It's weird.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, that is too funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, slowly.
Koharu's mom had a child with Hiyori's father, and
once again, that's some domestic girlfriend bullshit right there.
Yes, it is.
And it
turns out
Koharu is that child, so it is Sweet Home Alabama.
Okay.
No, I genuinely don't think they're gonna go that route.
No. I don't think so either. I mean, I obviously wish they did, but you know what? I don't need it. I am happy with this show. It's very cute. It's very good.
Moving on then to the strongest sage with the weakest crest.
This isn't even an isekai, and it feels like an isekai.
It's not?
Just from the title, it feels like an isekai.
It's not an isekai, it's just regular fantasy. The guy reincarnates and all, but he's still a resident of the fantasy world. He has pulled an honest Voldemort.
Oh, jeez.
Should also point out that this is JC Staff's third show of the season.
Figures.
And yet somehow it's better looking than one of the others.
Yeah, I assume they put their attention into this and Realist Hero, and just ignored Requiem.
Yeah. Yeah, Realist Hero definitely got a lot of love.
So yeah, I've mentioned before that my second monitor is a TV screen that doesn't have a great resolution because it's quite old, which makes small text sort of run together. I was just looking at the summary for this, in which it says, shattering prejudices, he promptly makes ripples in the academy, which I read as makes nipples.
No,
I
he
was
does
like,
not.
and I just double take, I just like mentally double take to that. I was like, that can't be right. What?
He doesn't make nipples, but he does make googly eyes at a girl who quickly makes googly eyes back at him.
Yeah.
Like it's like pretty strong insta love vibes there.
Wonderful.
They are teenagers though, so it could just be passed off as them crushing on each other really quick. Like teenagers do be like that sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can tell by their mal scores which of the three shows the JC staff put most attention into. But yeah, no, this is not terrible, honestly. It's certainly better than some of the other stuff I've watched this season, but that's not really a high bar, unfortunately. Like, I watched 16 premieres this season, and I outright dropped two of them after episode one, and I'm considering dropping half of the remaining shows.
Jeez.
And I think I ranked them badly because some of the ones that are lower are things I'm actually thinking of continuing over ones
Well,
I
that's
ranked
fine. You can
higher.
make room for other great shows like Rusted Armors.
If any of the shows that I haven't watched are making it on my list, Slow Loop is the one I'm considering the most. Anything else is secondary.
You should also watch Rusted Armors.
Where I heard how you talked about it. No,
It's peak fiction.
I know a lie when I hear one.
I guess you could say I tell the stupidest lies.
Oh
That's
god,
for
the
real.
finale today was so good.
We can talk about that in the 3+ episode check-in, Mel.
I know,
Yeah.
I've already got the screenshot for it, but it was so good.
Yeah, it's incredibly good. But we'll touch on that later. Don't you worry. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, this one is fairly mediocre. It's decent enough, but like, there's nothing really to recommend it over. Also, just watch Misfit of Demon King Academy over this one. It has a similar concept, but it's executed much better.
Yeah, that's kind of the vibe I got from the preview.
Yeah, no, just watch Misfit. Misfit's better.
I'll watch
I
neither.
love how
Maybe I'll watch Misfit. I might watch Misfit, but
I'm honestly surprised you haven't watched Misfit yet.
You know me. I don't like I burnt out on those kinds of isekai or close to isekai shows for a while. So maybe I'll go back
Misfit's
to it.
better than 95% of that batch.
I'm sure, but like it's you know, it's
The core appeal of Misfit is just how over the top it is.
yeah, I know.
This show does not have that going for it,
Yeah.
unfortunately. The main trio is fun enough. I do wish Alma was in a better show. Like she is she's a fun enough character that is kind of underserviced by the show she's in, but it's overall not like an outstanding show by any stretch of the imagination. Alma is the Archer girl in the key visual, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I might give this a little bit longer. I watched the first couple episodes. I'll stick around to episode 3 at least. I might watch more.
Okay.
Moving on then to Tokyo 24th Ward.
I really I've only seen the first episode, so the hour-long one. I really like this show so far.
This one's a very interesting one. I do like
Yeah.
that they did actual trolley problem.
Yeah. It's really cool. Like there's a lot of interesting stuff going on here. I really like how the characters bounce off each other too.
The core characters have a really good dynamic.
Yeah. I like how they all awakened to their their Kekkei Genkai. One of them
They
has
all
the
awaken their double
Sharingan,
spirits
the
at the
other one
same
has the
time?
Rinnegan, the other one has the Byakugan.
I don't think that's how it works, but yeah.
Yeah, it is now.
No, they all awaken their double at the same time, and now they can do shenanigans with the double
Yeah,
spirits.
yeah. But yeah, this show's really cool. Our main boy wanted to be a hero, but he failed to save his best friend after his school got arsoned.
Orient.
Apparently, yeah, it got the fire. So,
His hashtag Destiny died.
yeah, so and then so he gave up on that, and then was eventually somehow he and his two estranged friends reunite to for the memorial of that arson, and they somehow get contacted by the girl that their friend that died. They receive a call from her, and then they get superpowers, and then they can see the future, and then they stop a
They solved
train
the trolley
from.
problem.
Yeah, they
They
solved the
solved the
trolley
trolley
problem.
problem.
They solved the trolley problem with anime bullshit.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
It's fun. It's really fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't watched this one yet. I kept trying, but I kept getting put off by the double length episode.
Yeah,
The double length premiere is difficult to justify.
Yeah. But I can recommend it so far. At least it's at least interesting. It'll at least be an interesting watch.
Yeah.
We're gonna ignore the fact that it's a Cloverworks original.
Also my issue, yeah.
It's okay. This doesn't have to. It doesn't have to be bad. Look. They dedicated. They put an hour long into the first episode. Okay, that has to mean something, right?
No.
On the plus side, the three leads are voiced by Junya Inoki, Yumi Uchida, and Kaido Ishikawa.
Yeah.
Yes. And they're all
Which is a really fucking good cast to start with.
Oh, and it's also got Yuichi Nakamura showing up at some point.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and Soma Saito also showing up at some point.
Because he wasn't busy enough.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
But yeah,
this is a fucking stacked cast. What the hell?
Yeah.
But yeah, Junya Inoki is one you'd probably vibe with the most, Mill.
I do love Junya Inoki.
He does good work.
I saw a really cute clip where, because Junya Inoki is the Japanese dub for Spider-Man in the MCU.
Oh, interesting.
And it was really adorable because Tom Holland was doing an interview, and Junya Inoki basically asked a question of him, basically saying like, how can I best sort of like represent your performance and your portrayal of Peter Parker, and Tom Holland was just like, I've heard what you've done and I think you're doing a really good job so far. Like just keep doing what you're doing.
Aww.
Yeah, so I was quite happy with that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, crazy fun fact about Junya Inoki. His cousin voices Chisei and Dynazenon.
Oh, that's cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chika Anzai is her name.
Cool.
Oh,
It's funny when you have related voice actors.
Yeah. Just while we're on the subject of Junya Inoki, I've just remembered. Did Komi's brother actually say anything in this season?
He said,
Komi?
I think he said one line.
Yeah, I think he said one line.
This is what I feared when I heard that he'd been cast as Shosuke. Shosuke doesn't talk.
He's a strong silent type.
So yeah, Tokyo 24th Ward, good. How is it visually?
Yeah, pretty good.
'Cause obviously Cloverworks are working on 2 other shows this season.
It's pretty good visually.
It's pretty good visually. I think of the 3 shows they're working on, it's probably the one they're devoted the least to,
Which
but
makes
it's still
sense.
fairly good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's still like it still looks pretty good. It's like I'd still say it's above like average, especially for this season. So
Yeah.
even if it doesn't have Cloverworks best staff on it, like it's
yeah.
it's still solid.
Who's the... So the director was the chief director of JoJo's Part 5. In fact, he's just the JoJo's director.
Oh dang.
Like, he's done... He was director on Part 1, director on Part 3, and director on Part 4. So the only one he hasn't done is Part 2 and 6. So at least got a good director.
Yep. Okay, I'm looking at Cloverworks' upcoming projects, and one of them looks a lot more like a Doga Kobo show than a Cloverworks show.
I'm going to assume you mean inside
Ninja Girls one, yeah.
inside Tsubaki Kunoichi's heart.
Yes. They're also working on Spy X Family, but that's a collaboration with Wit Studio.
Oh god, I'm reading the fucking summary for that show. The Isolationist Akane clan, composed of an all-girls body mainly consisting of young Kunoichi in training, has a code to which they all must adhere, as men are dangerous beings, interacting with them is forbidden.
Oh god.
Oh no.
Kunoichi Tsubaki, the leader of the Dog Squad, is an excellent trainee with a promising future, but she has started to experience a strange feeling in her heart whenever the subject of boys is brought up.
Oh no! Are we sure this isn't a Doga Kobo show?
I don't know. It has all the hallmarks of Doga Kobo. And their worst stuff.
Yeah, this doesn't bode well.
Well, we'll get to that when we get to it next season.
Yeah.
Whoever's stuck with the next season is in for a good time.
Yeah.
Moving on then to Tribe 9.
Danganronpa Baseball.
I genuinely really enjoyed this.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Like, I like cyberpunk in general. I think it's generally a cool aesthetic, especially when the actual, politics of it are done well. And this seems to be maybe not focusing on it massively, but it does seem to be doing it because, like, apparently just gangs took over Tokyo. Maybe even Japan as a whole, I'm not sure. I think it's just Tokyo, though. So it just got split up into tribes, and so they just decided to settle things with extreme baseball.
Sounds cool.
Just for no real reason.
Wait a minute. This sounds like is this just Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds but with baseball?
Maybe.
That's what this kind of sounds like.
So the three main characters so far are Kamiya Shun, who is like just like the best extreme baseball player out there. Part of it might be because he's just got a broken ass bat, but I think he is also very good. To the point where he knocks off the top of Tokyo Tower with a hit.
Wow. That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah. Tiger the tuna fisher, who is just a hothead. But he was fairly good at the game. He was the embodiment of he's a little confused, but he's got spirit. And then the third character, Shirokane Haru, meek boy who's got really good reflexes, who is inspired by Shun and Tiger to do his best, and does his best and succeeds. Yeah, I mean, this is very much an introductory episode of just like the concept and the characters. I don't think we're anywhere near the main story yet, considering we have a very, very ominous-looking character voiced by Junichi Sawabe coming up at some point. He's the guy on the left of the key visual with the weird mask. So yeah, he's turning up at some point.
Okay.
And I'm gonna take a swing in the dark and say he's the main villain.
A swing in the dark, huh?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
A swing, is that a baseball reference?
Not an intentional one, but yes. Yeah, and just like, I mean, my one caveat is that Taiga and Shun's motivation of Haru is probably closer to bullying than motivation. It straddles the line, I'm gonna say, and it can get a little uncomfortable, but I still enjoyed it, and I still enjoyed Haru's character arc for what it was. Yeah, this is kind of my show.
This sounds pretty fun. I was already kind of interested in it, so I'll definitely check it out then if you're enjoying it.
No, this is dumb bullshit, and it doesn't. That's the thing. It's dumb bullshit, and it knows it's dumb bullshit. It doesn't try and hide it. It knows its concept is quite ridiculous, and so it just plays into it with like just extreme baseball being a ridiculous game. Like
good.
Like in the game in the first episode, which was the Shinagawa tribe, who just were basically like their whole deal was they used technology to try and win. Like their fucking first baseman was just this fucking hulk of a man, and the way that so the rule of extreme baseball is that if somebody on the like catcher's team has the ball, they can try and interfere with the like batter running to base in any way they want. But Tiger manages to outdo this gigantic man through the power of fucking tuna fishing. Like fucking brings like genuinely to the point where like they mention it in dialogue a little bit later, like brings up images of the ocean and tuna fishing with his moves. Like fucking Shun actually asks Haru, "You just saw the ocean, didn't you?" It's like, what the fuck? It's so dumb, but it's great. Yeah, I'm hopeful for this. I don't think it's gonna be anywhere near as like what's the word? Politically focused as say Akudama Drive was, but I think it's gonna be just as fun.
Okay. All right, sounds good to me. I'll definitely check it out because I was already kind of interested.
Yeah.
Just because like, even though like my feelings are Danganronpa are kind of mixed. I loved Akudama Drive, and I like anything this guy. Anything this guy makes is at least interesting.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, it's hard to top Akudama Drive.
Oh no! Yeah,
I can understand that. I can understand the interest.
Yeah, it's
Akudama Drive was one of the best shows of its year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not Akudama Drive, but it's it's a fun concept in a similar style world. There's also a Bitchin' OP by Miyavi.
Okay.
Ooh, that's always fun.
Yeah. So moving on to our final. Well, technically, the premiere didn't air this season, did it? But
it aired internationally this season. It was not aired last season.
Oh, did it not
outside of
even come
Japan.
out last season? Okay, that makes sense. Either way, it's World's End Harem.
So, Jax, this is your favorite show, right?
Censorship is so fucking bad.
So this is Jack's favorite show, right?
I think the show might have
No.
driven Jack insane.
Yeah.
Best comedy of the year, 10 out of 10.
So is the
The show is-
censorship that bad?
It is hilariously bad. It's just like black pixelated boxes over everything that could be remotely provocative.
Wait, black pixelated boxes?
Just like big black boxes with a bunch of weird pixel shapes. They're not uniform
That-
like square rectangular boxes. They're just like they taper off into pixelation.
That's why did they use two different forms of censorship? That's so weird.
No, they didn't use two different forms of censorship. I can look up a screenshot, but it's basically just like, actually, just look at the ANN reviews. They have a few screenshots that are just
Okay.
really fucking funny.
Okay.
But yeah, no, it's just this is supposed to be a hard ecchi show, and almost all of the naughty stuff beyond occasional cleavage shots is just straight up censored hard. And that's not even getting to the absolute fucking wild plot.
Check the AniFem review of it, because that's got a better picture of the terrible censorship.
Oh god, it is so fucking hilarious.
Oh my god! What? How?
The show is
That's
so fucking bad.
It looks like it's broken.
Yep.
This is like you punched your TV. Like this.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. This is some of the worst censorship I have ever seen in anything. And I watched the 4Kids dub of One Piece.
Oh my god. No, at least 4Kids censorship was creative. This is I have
This
no
is
words.
lazy. It's so fucking funny. Oh my god. The show is so bad.
This is weird laziness because it looks like they went like the extra mile in like being. I don't
They
know
went the
because
extra
like
mile in all the dumbest ways.
yeah, what is this?
Okay,
Yeah,
I
no.
want to believe this is what made it. This is what delayed it. This having to do the censorship.
I would not be surprised.
Oh my god! Oh gee, what?
Oh, you found another screenshot, huh?
Yeah. What? This is so jarring.
Yep. And basically every single remotely naughty scene has this censorship. Like, even when a character is just in lingerie, not even naked, they censor the fucking lingerie. Because it's apparently too fucking suggestive. Oh my god. No, I watched 3 episodes just so I concluded on my year-end ranking.
Oh my god.
But this is too fucking funny. It's so bad. So fucking bad. Oh, what's even funnier is I'll just talk about the funnier shit in the 3 episode check-in because oh boy, it is so fucking dumb and funny.
Oh my god.
The show is
I
so
didn't
bad.
think the censorship could be this bad.
Like I said, 10 out of 10 comedy of the year.
Wow.
The show wants to be taken so seriously, but it cannot muster up that seriousness. I'm sorry. It can't. Oh my
Wow.
god. This is one of
So,
the most hilariously bad shows I've seen in a while.
So early contender for anime of the season, then, Jack.
No, I think you mean anime of the year.
Yeah, I mean anime of the decade, obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously, it'll be a close run thing with Exarm.
Yeah,
Exactly.
honestly, yeah.
X Arm is a
Like,
tough competitor against this one.
yeah, Ranking of Kings, Odd Taxi, freaking garbage compared to this. Like,
Honestly, with Ranking of Kings, I am desperately trying not to gush about it relentlessly.
I get the
I
feeling.
have been holding back this entire stream my desire to gush about the new core of Ranking of Kings.
Well,
Oh,
we'll get to
don't
gush about
worry.
it in a
But
couple of
but
weeks.
our next stream,
Next stream, we will unleash our praise.
Yeah.
Also, the new OP for Ranking of Kings is one of my favorite OPs in several years. I have watched it several times. I've lost count. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry.
But yeah. Oh, that's something that's two things I've remembered about Sasaki and Miyano. Just get back on a better show. Um, First, Miyano's. Well, I think he's a friend of both Miyano and Sasaki. Um, but I think his name is Hirono. Does the horny bonk a lot.
Yeah, that's funny.
And the other thing
Bonk.
is, yeah, the other thing is, I'm calling my shot now. Sasaki and Miyano is almost certainly going to be my anime of the season.
Your what?
My anime of the season.
Mm.
I'm gonna.
I mean, we each have a different anime of the season, a front runner right now, but they're all our top 3 anime of the season, probably.
I'm calling my shot on this one.
Understandable. Look, there's only like 5 like legitimately unambiguously good anime this season, and a few others that are like also unambiguously good.
I'm not sure if
So
My
like,
Dress Up Darling is in my top 3.
really,
I think Sabikui Bisco is probably is, but wondering if Tribe 9 or
okay.
Futsal Boy might take the might edge it out just because of how uncomfortable the fan service in Dress Up Darling made me.
And also because how your sports trash.
That helps, yeah. Being
I
sports
think
trash
we lost
helps.
number. We lost number.
Ooh dear. Well, it's fine. We are at the end of the stream anyway, so that will be all. This is in fact our shortest premiere stream since our very first one, winter last year, where we had no fucking clue what we were doing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that is because of how fucking dry the season is.
This is the driest season we've had for a long time.
Yeah.
Honestly, the driest one I can remember since summer 2018, I think.
The season that killed FMK.
God, I still remember that.
Yeah.
It sucks that that season killed FMK because the next season was so stacked.
Yeah, it really is. So yeah, so that's all. In terms of future stuff, tomorrow, not sure. Um,
Probably a
we'll
game stream of kinds.
Yeah, we'll figure something out. Tuesday should be Fuzzy and I playing something. Oh, Nmbr, you're back.
Hey, number.
can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, sorry about that.
Oh, your internet died. Okay.
Yeah, it just came back. Okay.
It's fine.
Yep.
We're wrapping things up.
Okay.
We're almost done anyways, so
I mean, if you cut out before I said it, I'm calling my shot and saying Sasaki and Miyano will be my anime of the season.
Okay. Probably.
I'm not guaranteeing it, but I'm going to bet that that's the case.
Yeah.
I would not be.
Sabikui Bisco is probably going to be mine, but we'll have to see where it goes.
Yeah, Professed Darling's probably going to be mine. I have no idea. The closest contender is Sabikui Bisco right now, but who knows how things can change.
Yeah, I think anything could happen. Who knows? Maybe World's End Harem will turn it around. I don't know.
I fucking doubt it.
Maybe Rusted Armors will improve its animation to the point where its final episode is on par with Demon Slayer.
Maybe. You never know. Don't underestimate the underdog.
Yeah.
You're just talking about pipe dreams at this point.
So that's everything. In terms of future stuff, I said what's happening tomorrow. I said what's happening Tuesday. Thursday we'll be continuing on in the last case of the first Ace Attorney game. God, they're so insane, and I love them.
Mm-hmm.
And then next Saturday, we'll be discussing Dresden Files books 8 and 9. So,
Very fun.
Proven Guilty and White Knight, if I'm recalling correctly.
You are indeed recalling correctly.
Otherwise, yeah, this is in fact going to be our shortest premiere stream since last winter, where we really didn't know what we were doing, or how we should do things. But yeah, that's the season. We're probably going to have quite a fewer shows next stream, though we will obviously have the carryovers coming back in. So let me think.
Fine, we can just talk about Ranking of Kings the whole time.
Yeah. So we'll be gaining back Demon Slayer, Digimon Ghost Game, Dragon Quest, Ranking of Kings, and we'll have one stream of World Trigger gushing.
Yep.
But otherwise, as always, thanks for watching, and we will see you next time. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Later.